Widdershins, 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 Widdershins. When the crowd gets fussy, when the floor gets dusty, when your blade gets busted, Widdershins, Widdershins. When your broom smells funny, when the hex takes your money, what's gonna save you, honey? Just Widdershins, Widdershins. All you witches and all you old magicians, it's time to start listening to Widdershins, Widdershins. Widdershins, 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 Widdershins.
And welcome to Widdershins,
Widdershins.
radio for your spiritual side. A twisted approach, the left-hand path, and all the paths in between. We are in the midst of our WitchCon marathon and trying to interview everyone that we can from WitchCon. And today we got Jim Sayers, one of the presenters at WitchCon. And I would call a friend of ours. Today we're live on Instagram and TikTok because I messed up and got thrown in Facebook jail. So the two Facebook streams that typically are associated with the show just be there today. I think I got 10 more hours of Facebook jail. Apparently the C word is a bad word. And I should not have said that. But Arcane Lucifer, I'm seeing you there. And we're on YouTube and I don't know where else the hell we are, but we're going to bring Jim on. If you're following us on YouTube, you'll be able to see him. All you other people, you're just going to listen. Okay. And Jim Sayers, how are you?
Hey.
Hi. Doing well. How about you?
Good.
It's good to see you.
Let's act like we don't know each other and tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Well, gosh, my path that has led me to WitchCon and knowing the two of you has been a long one. I guess my practice is really rooted in herbal medicine. I actually am a master herbalist and have devoted my life to gardening. And that has definitely been the foundation of my path. It's expanded quite a bit over the past 5 or 6 years. But that has where I'm at today. I'm a father and husband, and that is where I am today. So.
Got any books out or any books coming up?
You know, I am in talks with a publisher right now and hoping to release all of the details soon. My book is tentatively called The Herbal Ally Way, which is focusing on herbal medicine, but as herbal magic and as a foundation of practice as well. Definitely plan to be an introductory book and working on a series.
So how long have you been on this path? When did you get started with your
Gosh, I would say at 14 years old, checked out that giant blue book from the library, and
from the library, nice.
Yeah.
And
back to your
the library.
Stealing library books.
Well, they still are.
Right.
Yeah, they still are. Oh yeah.
And but I was raised Pentecostal, so that was an interesting break in tradition, and one that was an uphill battle at the time. I remember, the librarian actually threatening to call my mom, and then my mom finding the book afterwards. So it's an interesting conversation. But I've been on that path since then. I was blessed to have all of my grandmothers around me, and they really colored my path in terms of introducing me to gardening, as well as a lot of the family folk magic. I think we can all kind of agree that the idea of the hereditary witchcraft passed down from the great grandmother is colored and expanded on more than reality. My great grandmother definitely practiced folk magic, but she was very much a Pentecostal Christian, and she would take offense at being called a witch. But they definitely colored my path, and I've been able to divorce myself from the mythology that I was taught at such a young age. But they definitely colored my path. But I certainly can't say my witch grandmother taught me the things that I know, because she would take offense at being called that. So.
And then most people call BS when you say that. It's like the hoodoo grandmother. But everybody's got one somehow.
Right.
We made a few memes about it. Mama Sunfire, how are you? We're doing the Widdershins marathon for WitchCon, which I actually sent you a message to see if you wanted to be at next WitchCon. I think here. At any rate, we're interviewing Jim Sayers. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, and I think that's everywhere we are today. I got thrown in Facebook jail, so we're not there. Jim Sayers, master herbalist, I'm going to call him. So you can give medical advice. You're actually a medicinal, licensed herbalist.
I am a master herbalist, and I do practice from a nutritional standpoint. I always say that the body and nature heals itself. It's about giving it the tools that it needs in order to heal. But I do, that is the foundation of my practice, is, of course, helping others to find balance and healing in their life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we got, how long you been practicing? Where do you live?
I am in Youngstown, Ohio. And we are about a half-hour drive from East Palestine, that's in the news right now. With the train drive.
That's too close.
Yeah, that is true. Luckily, we're northwest. We are northwest of there, so we are safe in terms of air pollution. And it's a little too close for comfort. Completely lost you guys there. Hey, it looks like we might have lost Uncle Birch and Aunt Marta. I'm waiting for them to come back. Okay, so I will be presenting at WitchCon Sunday, March 5th at 5:45. My class is going to be working with nature as companions and allies.
Retry. Oh my.
We keep losing.
Okay, refreshing. Just refreshed it. Let's see. Jim is not there. Can you tell Jim to hit that link again?
You sent them?
Yeah. Let's see. It's glitchy with the video, but sounds clear. Okay. Air pollution. Made it here. Good. Hello, TikTok. Hello, Instagram. Those two Facebook not connected. So let's see. I think I heard something from Jim. Putting him back on camera. See what happens. And it's blank. All right. We'll wait for Jimmy. We are attempting to interview Jim Sayers. We've got storm activity in the area, so I'm sure that's not helping.
I think I saw a low tornado warning.
Yes, a 1, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Just looking over here at all
He
y'all.
it says I'm backstage.
Says you're backstage, huh? I don't see you, man. All right, you know what I'm gonna do, Jimmy? Send me the other thing. Okay, I got this. Jim's over here messaging me. Send a new link. Oh, fun. Someday we'll hire technicians to handle all that shit. Like everybody else does. So hello, TikTok, Instagram. You are tuned into Widdershins, where we're having technical difficulties. And try to get Jim back.
You know, Jim's really funny.
He is really funny.
I don't know
We've
if
hung
he
out with him in
presents
person
that
many
way.
times.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a good presenter. I think he's been there at least. He was Hex Fest too, right? Okay.
I don't think so.
There's another one. And that one looks blank too. Jim. Damn it.
Should we just reschedule?
I don't know. Let me see. Let me remove this one. I'm try one more time doing
We're
this
gonna have to
refresh
pick
thing.
Sasha up soon.
Yeah, I know.
Too much later, we won't be able to. Well, we have to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. About 2:30. Let's see. I'm gonna send this to Jim again. Okay. Now, I've sent Jim the link again. There, I see Jim. All right, that's better.
Hey,
You're moving. All right.
Okay.
Back to we were talking with Jim Sayers. We lost connection. Where were we? Oh, I was going to ask you, how many times have you been at WitchCon?
this will actually be my second time presenting. I did not present last year, so this will be my second time.
Okay. Tell us a little about your class that you'll be presenting this year.
So the class this year is going to be working with nature as companions and allies, and that's going to be on Sunday, March 5th at 5:45. And this came out of my Herbal Ally Way approach and working with plant spirits, but it's the expansion into working with other nature entities, from plants to animals, the spirits of place, whether it be a stream, just your garden, the stones in your garden, the mountain that you're hiking on, and really opening yourself up to guidance and healing from those beings as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like work coming to me. Um, yeah, Aura says, I want to go to WitchCon. We'll get witching. $95. You can come up with that. Come on, do some money spell. You got like what?
It's totally
Couple
worth
weeks.
it. You get a lot for your money.
You don't have to go
and
anywhere.
You get to keep it forever.
You can do it on your phone. You can do it on your laptop. You have it forever. It can be your digital book of shadows. Incredible presenters. I definitely want to watch Jim's class.
That's one of my favorite things about WitchCon is being able to go back and watch all the other presenters. Sit down with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in the morning and just start watching. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because when HexFest happens, I miss a lot of workshops. Sometimes people be on when I'm on, or the morning people. I hate them. Like 9 in the morning. I'm like, go to New Orleans and party all night and get up at 9 in the morning. No. Didn't somebody have one at?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time we were in New Orleans was when he was presenting at HexFest, and we missed all the morning stuff because it was our first time in New Orleans.
Right.
So, gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, Sheriff. Curious to know, did he have any social blowback from participating? Yeah, I've been at it. Anybody threatening you to not do WitchCon?
Not this year. I've been left alone this year. And that's what I have to say to the naysayers is get to know the people that you are bashing, and you'll have a very different opinion. Hearsay is not something what I base my judgment of people on, my interpersonal relationship with them, and really get to know the names that you're dropping before you call them out, because you don't know their history personally.
It's like high school with wands sometimes, man. I learned all this crap in high school. I don't know how these kids didn't learn that. There's 4 sides at least to every story. Hear them all before you judge. So that's good. Good.
Today, this year they're leaving you alone.
Yeah, I haven't been bothered by much. Unfortunately, I've lost connections, but it's good to lose those connections when they're not using adult life skills to determine how they're going to relate to people.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm not going to be responsible for everybody on the bill with me. There's witches there I like, witches there I don't like. It's been very clear that I don't like Orion Foxwood because he's hated on me. He's hated on me for no damn reason. I'm not a fan of his work, but I don't care. I'm not responsible for Orion Foxwood being on the same bill. There's Silver Ravenwolf. Oh my God, well, that's way too fluffy for me. I'm usually teaching magical warfare and stuff, but here we are on the same bill. We don't all have to get along or sing Kumbaya in the night or be responsible for politics, or
Exactly.
Not even that. Be responsible for other people's rumors. It's ridiculous. I am me and you are you. We are presenting. So what more can you tell us without giving us too many spoilers about your class?
Something that I have always infused my practice with, the wisdom and the magic of the natural world is an immense source for healing, and really creating a more balanced and sustainable relationship with the earth. When I think of, the most primitive idea of spirit, that is the earth, because without the earth, none of these things exist. Your gods and goddesses don't exist because we're gone. Life is gone. So the ultimate path of witchcraft, I think, really is green or eco magic, in the sense that we have to emphasize respect and that interdependence. Everybody talks about ancestral work. Well, our greatest ancestors aren't human. They are the animals. They're the plants. They're everything that we came from. When we crawled out of the ocean. But that intelligence is still there in nature, and really bridging the knowledge with our power into our work and our lives in service to the earth. Many of us are called to witchcraft as servants, servants of the goddess, servants of our ancestors. But I think ultimately it's about service to the earth. And witchcraft to me is a form of relationship building between ourselves and the earth and absolutely everything that exists in the natural world. And it's a way to bring healing into our lives, because when we live in balance with those energies, we're healed, but we're also going about healing the earth too. I don't think that our destiny is predetermined in that sense. I think we can fix it because the earth will heal itself, but it's up to us to make that happen and make it possible. And I really talk about a lot of those aspects in my class, and what you can do on the local level in your home and in your garden to really start building that connection and making those changes.
So I would assume you grow most of your own herbs. You talked about gardening a lot.
Yeah, I do grow quite a bit. Last year I planted what's called a Lachnunga garden, which is based on the Anglo-Saxons herbal medicine, and really trying to work with indigenous herbs that grow here naturally. It's amazing when you keep your eyes open how many herbs volunteer in your yard as well. But I would say gardening and getting your hands into the earth is one of the greatest works of power that you can do.
I think, God, it's been within the last decade that science proved grounding. You stand on the earth, bare feet, you ground. There's microbial forces that are very beneficial for us. People used to always tell me to walk barefoot on the earth more. I said, "You hippie." But I get it. Got so indigenous plants. Got any thoughts on white sage? I'm sure they're dying to hear it on TikTok. They have a lot to say about it.
All the controversy. Well, I will say that it's a plant that grows from the soil, and we all grow from the soil. I believe because I've grown white sage, I've grown other kinds. White sage doesn't grow well in northeastern Ohio, but I grow other types of sage, and side by side, those plants are both creatures of the earth. And as a creature of the earth, I think I have equal access to that plant, especially if I'm growing it myself. Now, in terms of the practice of smudging and that there is religious truths that come from the indigenous faith. And if you're so inclined to have been taught from an indigenous person how to respect it and approach it properly, then that's between you and them. But saying that anybody who lights a piece of white sage and wafts it around their house is committing appropriation is just absolutely ridiculous, because you can't, as a creature of the earth, you can't appropriate an herb of the earth. It's here for everybody to use.
I've often said, just don't call it smudging. Call it sensing, asperging. We have many words for that. Stuff, drive out spiritual forces or whatever.
So do you strictly work with the spirit of the plant, incorporate deity into that too?
I have worked with deity, I think, because my practice is so animistic in that I've, connected with, the what many in magic would consider the lesser, but to me, it's the whole. Just like the ocean contains every drop, the drop contains the ocean. So I would say my practice is mostly animistic in the sense that I connect with all that is. When I connect to the tiniest little plants, I'm connected to source. And I haven't felt the need for deity specific to intercede on my behalf with source. They certainly serve their purpose, and I've worked with a deity before, but it's not a regular part of my practice.
Do you ever share your essence with your plants when you're growing them? Like, give me your blood or anything?
I have, in the sense that plants that I'm intimately connected to. I think giving of your essence, especially blood, in terms of plant growth. You can actually go to the hardware store and buy blood meal, which is good for plants because of the minerals that are in it. But definitely giving an offering like that builds a connection. I found, though, that my deepest connection has just been spent using all of my senses. Sitting with the plant in meditation, listening, drawing. One of the best things you can do is sit down and draw something that you see, because even if you're not an artist, you're paying attention to detail, which builds that connection. But also smell and then taste. There's that saying, we are what we eat. So if you're building healthy cells out of chamomile and lavender and stinging nettle and all these herbs that you're growing in your yard, you're also becoming one with the earth and the land that your feet are upon as well. And I think that's how you build a deeper connection.
So you probably ask permission before harvesting the plant.
I do. A prime example is my elderberries. Started off as one plant, and they now take up a good eighth of our property. But the elder mother is really important. Feels like a guardian of our place, and even taking the slightest berries or a cutting from her, I approach her in respect and meditation and spend time. I often bring compost when I harvest too, as an offering of trade. But there's an understanding there that I'll take care of her and her offspring in exchange for berries and flowers and that sort of thing.
Deep. So way beyond, Cunningham herb magic.
Well, it's really important to establish a relationship with the plants before you ask them for anything.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
I
really like to. I was talking about this yesterday. Actually, I like to taste. As long as they're not poisonous, I like to taste. If it's bitter or sweet or energetically cold, energetically hot. Like I think that tells you a lot about the plant. And, what it can do for you.
Marta, I know in your practice too, because you're a healer as well, and you work with herbs. You mentioned the taste and how important that is. And what's great about learning about those tastes is if you're familiar with them and what they do and what their properties are, you don't have to know what an herb does from a book. You can experience it for yourself and know what its health benefits are as well. So I think that's great that you brought that up.
I got to say hey to TJ Vansel. Hey. And we got a question over here. Amory Farron. One practitioner I watched on YouTube said they work spells by what smells good together. Opinions?
Okay. I could say, our bodies often, if something smells good to you, it could be that you are craving. You're on the cellular level or craving something that offers. So, if it smells good to you, by all means, keep using it in your practice. Same thing with taste. A lot of times we crave eating something because we're lacking a mineral or something in our diets. If it's pleasing to you, keep doing it. Don't worry about what other people say.
The comment section is way too small for how much I want to say. Yeah, I know that too. Hey, Jada, how are you? Let me read the WitchCon plug since we'd lost connection last time I read it. So we were interviewing Jim Sayers, one of the presenters at WitchCon.com, or go to WitchCon.com. But I'll read you the thing. Bring the magic to you. March 3rd to the 5th, 2023. Join the largest live stream magical conference featuring nearly 100 witches and conjurers on live video from across the globe. Watch classes live and then rewatch on demand as often as you like. WitchCon online presenters are the preeminent masters of the magical arts and hail from across the rainbow spectrum of cult and spiritual practices. Registration is limited to 1,000 attendees, so you better get on it. It's selling out, y'all. All live video classes, rituals, and performances, as well as access to recordings of every class after the event is ended, are on-demand library, so you won't miss a single magical moment. Attendees and fans will love the live shopping in our virtual vendorium, featuring powerful ritual tools, signed books, exquisite jewelry, and handmade spellcrafts. Our virtual meet and greet lets attendees and fans alike meet and chat with presenters live on Zoom, and it's a great way to get to know your favorite teachers. WitchCon Online is live streamed on the Hex Education Network on Crowdcast, a web-based platform with no need to download an app. Now, again, kids, somebody said, I wish I could go to WitchCon. Well, you don't got to go. You just got to pay.
Yeah, no travel required.
$95 to get access to all of this. Yeah. And we got a lot of people here on TikTok right now.
Jim, I wanted to ask you about the vendorium. Will you be offering anything?
I believe
I will. I'll be vending on Sunday at 4:15 p.m. And I will have everything that we have in our shop, from herbs to smudge bundles, as well as our soaps and other things available as well.
Okay.
very cool. What is your the name of your workshop again for the people who missed it?
The name of the workshop is Working with Nature as Companions and Allies, and that's also going to be on Sunday at 5:45 Eastern. And we'll be breaking down how to make those connections with the spirits of place and work with them in our practice to help ourselves, but also others, your family and friends as well.
It sounds like it's kind of a rhetorical question, but what do you think about plant familiars? Sounds like we're talking about.
Gosh, I think plant familiars are. It's a loaded word, familiar, but I would say that if you applied that to plant spirit allyship, I think the word could certainly apply. There are times that I call upon plants that are in my yard or in my space when I'm not occupying that space. Your plants, your herbal allies, on a singular level, that individual plant, its spirit is very different than the universal soul or spirit of that plant. And when you're not in the place of that individual plant, you can still call on the larger, overarching spirit of that plant as well. And I think that maybe familiar might apply to that larger spirit as well, in the sense that it can be there to protect and as well as work for you as well.
Well, he says that's a loaded word. A lot of kids out there want to make your cat fluffy. You're familiar. Now, with regard to like animals and spirits and stuff, that idea comes to us through ceremonial magic, and it's nasty. You're basically torturing the thing into becoming your slave. And I think you want to do that to Fluffy. And cats are vengeful, so bad idea. Witches have a natural affinity with animals and plants, but that doesn't mean that they have to be our familiar. That's a whole different magical practice. But plant familiars, well, that's the whole thing. I'm not going to torture the plant. It's not going to grow well. I've seen, I think our kid actually did that experiment.
Thinking about that
where they had a bunch of plants, told them that they loved them all the time, and some that they told them they hated them all the time.
And then they showed the groups of plants, and the group that the kids were mean to was not doing well at all.
Haggard.
And then the group that the plants were nice to and loving to were just thriving. So,
Definitely.
yeah, that was fascinating.
Yes. Life of plants kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, in addition to WitchCon, do you regularly have any classes that you teach, like from your website or anything that people can sign up for?
I do. I've been teaching in person for quite a while. Even during COVID, we tried to get together distance and work in person. But recently, I've had a lot of requests to take time, and I am starting up a course which I taught before called Kitchen Witchery Nourishing Traditions, and that's on Facebook through my Facebook. And I appreciate you mentioning it. It's a different approach to classes in the sense that it is a cooperative spirit approach, and that if you can contribute more at one time and less at another time to access the course, it's an easy access. The basic course rate is just $5 a month for a donation. Donate more when you can, less when you can't. I've always said I would rather sit down with 25 people at $5 a piece than sit down with 1 or 2 people at a higher price. And this provides access to such a wide variety of cross-section of people. And it's great to have their input and their wisdom in the classes. But that's on my Kitchen Witchery Nourishing Traditions Facebook group. We'll be operating out through there. We have our first Zoom class on next Wednesday.
Okay. Do you got a website or anything you want to plug?
Our website is just thehouseoflifebotanicals.com. And that's where we have a lot of our wisdom shares, as well as the product that we make here at home. So.
Very cool. I'm just looking over here to see if we have any more comments. No, just people saying hi. Hi, people.
So do all of your products come from plants that you've grown in your garden?
A lot of them do.
Can't grow in Ohio. They have to.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Unfortunately, yeah, a lot of the plants don't necessarily grow in Ohio. Our 2 best sellers is actually our Nag Champus, as well as our Dragon's Blood soap have become our 2 best sellers. So of course, those resins and things don't grow here locally, but even our regular herbs, sometimes we go through too much chamomile or lavender to support. We have 1 acre of land, and I wish I had our garden. Yeah,
Farmer Jim. Got a nice name to it.
Right.
Let's see. I can't think of other questions. I understand all of this. You got anything else?
If I got anything else,
I know, that's right. Let's see. So Jim Sayers, Plant Allies and Spirits, I believe it's called. And that's, when is your workshop?
The workshop is going to be on Sunday, March 5th, at 5:45 Eastern. And I don't remember which Zodiac room that's in, but
okay. So you're vending on Sunday and you're teaching on Sunday.
Yeah, everything's going to be on Sunday.
Wow, let's see. You got anything else you want to plug? Let's see. We got your website. Say the Facebook page again, because it kind of glitched, and I don't know if they heard it over here.
Yeah, the Facebook group is actually just called Kitchen Witchery Nourishing Traditions. And I also have another Facebook group called the Herbal Ally.
It's a great book, by the way, Nourishing Traditions.
Yes, it is.
Put that in there.
Yes, it is. And kind of pulling off of those traditions. You mentioned Nourishing Traditions is Weston Price book, but Nourishing Traditions really comes from the heart in the sense of what's passed on from generation to generation. And I think our parents' generation lost a lot in the chase for industrialization, but really going back and reaching back and pulling those traditions forward again for the next generation, I think, is so important.
Absolutely. God, I had something. All right, well, maybe we'll get out of here. I gotta go pick the kid up from school in a few here. And then we're gonna be back 5:30.
Yep.
Christine Stevens.
Yep.
Christine Stevens at 5:30. So we got a busy day of broadcasts. If you just joined us, want to follow us on whatever format you're on, because we're maybe halfway through trying to interview as many of the WitchCon presenters as we can.
And she'll be here in person.
She'll be in
from
person.
Ohio. Actually, she lives in Ohio now.
We'll probably be inside for that one because there's
Yeah.
possible tornado and a storm and all that. I mean, like a one chance of tornado.
Yeah.
We're shit at like tornadoes and hurricanes. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. On a personal note, you going to HexFest this year?
I might be able to make that happen. We'll see. I haven't really given it much thought, but it's possible. I would love to see everybody in person.
Yeah, it's always fun. Well, we'll be probably plugging HexFest in about a month or so. So you'll hear all about that too.
Yeah.
Well, our guest has been Jim Sayers. He's going to have a fascinating book coming out too. So I think you want to follow him. I don't know if you TikTok people even know what Facebook is, but it's free. You can get over there. You can find it. There's groups and stuff. You can do videos and all that. As a matter of fact, to try and keep up with TikTok, Facebook now has Reels. You can do short videos. Instagram's got them. YouTube's got them. Everybody wants to learn things in a really short amount of time to dumb down the entire damn country. So thanks for joining us, Jim. We'll see you soon. I'll see you at WitchCon. If not, all right, blessed be.
Take care.
And on our personal plugs, so be sure and check out our social media app, WitchLens, which is available right now only on the Apple App Store, but we're fucking working on it. The technicians drag their feet, and we are not the technicians. So it will be available on Android as soon as we can. There we go. YouTube's better. Well, we're just about to end the broadcast, but if you missed anything, I guess you can get over there to Uncle Birch 4 on Instagram. Watch it there. And Uncle Birch on YouTube. Watch it there. As soon as the live broadcast ends on TikTok, it'll be gone forever. And be sure and check out Witch School. Gumroad.com/Witch School. WITCHSKEWL. Where I keep all of my classes, and I'm getting ready to do a buckload of teaching on there. So there'll be a whole lot of new content on there. So you want to get over there to gumroad.com/Witch School. WITCHSKEWL, and follow me. And then whenever I launch something, you'll find out about it. As our ancestors used to say to remind us of the troubled times through which we came and the breadcrumb trail that they left us to follow in the ways. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again, y'all. End the stream. Goodbye, TikTok. Where's that fucking button? Okay, and now goodbye, Instagram. All right. Yeah, click on Instagram as small as my page is. Yes, I want to end the stream.